Teague, Charles Teague, 23 Edmund Street. I hope to just come down and thank you for passing the Teague petition, but I looked at the CBD email and I'm really disappointed that in the CBD's lack of trust of the residents, our building inspectors, the whole board of zoning appeal process that's in place that could handle any disputes. I'm disappointed that they would say it's hard to enforce when the building commissioner says he can enforce it. I'm disappointed where they think it's overreaching, but Tom Snavis, who's the former chair of the BZA, now on the planning board, says he wished it went further and address uplight. I'm disappointed that the chair of the planning board, Russell, said he supported it, but didn't go far enough to actually help his problems. And one of the planning board members, Captain Hunter, said, we should not let the perfect get in the way of the good. And I just look at the city's record on this. In 2007, there's a policy on lights. 2009, Davis had a hearing. Zoning amendment was recommended. 2011 was the first filing. We had the ordinance committee here, and the city staff did not produce any alternative language. So I just want to say this is no game. This is no joke. This is serious business. We had Dr. Saletta, Dr. Medical School, testify to the public health effects. We have Lizzie Graham, who feels it so powerfully that she had chemo this morning, but she's here tonight. There should be no more delay. There's no one should suffer one more night when the fix is turning off the light switch. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I think I have enough from the board where I could say to the city council that there's clear desire and unanimity on the board to do something about this issue and to update the ordinance, that it needs to be done quickly, at a minimum by the summer meeting, that a couple of concerns were raised about issues of whether or not it might be an over-inclusive ordinance in terms of the issue of visibility being prima facie evidence of a violation, and that there may be some openness to looking at exploring whether or not that could be narrowed a little bit between now and the summer meeting. The other issues I think that the boards raised were, could be ensuring that there were a clear definition of terms in a glossary, but that those would be the pieces that were there, and that if the council then, based on that information, decided to move ahead on Monday, so be it. If the council decided to wait for a little bit more feedback for the summer meeting, we would then take that as our homework, come back and present something to you at a future meeting in a timely enough fashion for the council to vote on their summer meeting of July 29th. But I think it's also clear to say that the sense of the board is that this is not something that they want to see dragged on and involving additional study, but ought to be voted by the council in some form or another with a favorable recommendation either Monday or at the end of the summer. Is that a reasonable summation?
Right. Let me make a suggestion as to how this might operate, which is if you can directly see the lamp, the standard that's in the Teague petition, you can make a complaint. If the person who can defend themselves against the complaint can show that they don't have more than a certain amount of light trespass, or that the size of the lamp is no larger than a certain amount. So that puts the onus of proving that it's okay onto the person with the light. If they can demonstrate that that light is in fact, even though you can see it, is within what seem to be reasonable standards, then that would be satisfactory. But it doesn't, right now, it's the other way around. It's like you shouldn't have to hire a lighting consultant to come out and say, you've got a problem. It should be simple. Say, yes, I've got a problem. So that would be my suggestion as a way that you might keep the simplicity of the Teague concept and add the nuance in. And you could even put those standards as something that might be in the supplementary guidelines or something. Okay.
up?
You push the switch up.
You said that the Teague petition, you paraphrased it as if you can directly see the lamp, and I think Charlie says if you can see the luminaire.
No,
Any portion of the luminaire.
no, it's any portion that.
Part of the lamp that's
Right, part of the
designed to reflect the light out.
Produce or reflect the light.
Right.
So it'd be any portion of these downward can lights, if you can see any portion of those that is reflecting, that is.
Right, I mean, there's a question like, I can see the reflector on that light,
No, but you
on all
don't
the
see the
can
element.
lights.
But you don't see the.
You don't see the element, the lighting element.
Right, so that's the point, you know, because of the design of the reflector, it doesn't allow me to see the lamp directly under it, at which point my superorbital ridge protects me. Okay. We've now taken a lot of time here. Give other business.
In that last regard, I just want to say that the new LED lights are kind of funny. They don't have bulbs in the same way that we think of them. So I think that's something we need to be very, very careful of. And some of them are all reflector, and some of them have it's a very odd thing, and they tend to be very glary. So it's
I'm sorry, I'm not totally familiar with your policy. The Historical Commission, we might ask if there's anyone in the audience. With regard to the LED lights, the medical school has been studying the effect of LED lights on sleep architecture. And what we're finding is that it extends the period known as sleep latency, how long it takes you to fall asleep, and disturbs the actual architecture of the sleep stages. So if you have an LED light glaring at you into your window, you're in trouble. Also, don't read your iPad right before you go to sleep.
Okay, so let's take a break and come back at 9 o'clock and start the hearing on the Popper Kaiser petition.